Okay.
Hello, I am Deb Coviello, the Drop-In CEO. And as always, I am so grateful that you've chosen to spend some time with me where week after week, I interview the most amazing people who share their insights and hopefully inspire you. And I do this work because I really, really care about the C-suite leader who is navigating challenges, and I want to be able to give them the confidence by partnering with them. And this week, I am so thrilled to have on to the show Ginger King, who is an award winning cosmetic chemist and the founder of Grace Kingdom Beauty, a cosmetic product development firm in New Jersey specializing in creating beauty brand from concept to launch, including formulation. She holds multiple patents, and she is also quoted in so many magazines. She's very prolific in the media industry, a well respected inspiring CEO and president of the world that she's in. And she's also, I found this very interesting, named to be the finalist for Women of Influence by Success Magazine. I'm so grateful to have found you, Ginger. Thank you for dropping in on the show.
Thank you for your invitation.
So, for people who may not know me that well, I started my career in the electronics industry. And then when I took a break to have my third child and went back into the workforce, I had the good pleasure of dropping in to the fragrance industry and got my exposure to such an amazing, creative, dynamic industry, as well as the customers that we serve. Yes, they are just chemicals, but how we create experiences was really, really impactful to me. So when I found Ginger, and she is an icon in this industry, I had to bring her on to the show. So, Ginger, I would love for you to share a bit about yourself personally and about the journey you've been on.
Thank you. So I've been in the beauty industry for over 30 years. I have touched every single aspect of the beauty space, including retail. Because when I was in college, I started at the counter, and that's actually where I started with my consumer relevance experience. And that's how I built my products based on consumer experience because that's the key in everything. And of course, I went into research development, product development, even manufacturing, and also raw material sales, because everybody can talk about, innovation, but if you do not have the raw material to start, how can you have innovation? So I do have the 360 of the beauty industry.
It's amazing. But you're so accomplished. I would love to just talk a bit about your accomplishments. I mean, multiple patents. Talk to me about that. I think people you shouldn't just brush these off. Talk about where is your work impacting?
The patents, I got those when I was working with Fortune 500 companies, and patents is very important for the big companies. However, I work with smaller indie brands now, and I usually tell people, get your trademark, worry about your patents later. The reason is if you are indie brand, even if people want to copy your formulations, copy everything, first of all, it's very hard to detect, what people are really doing. And when you file a patent, you actually have to disclose the composition. And even if you do find somebody infringe your patent, do you have the money to go after them? So patents are great for big corporations, but for indie beauty brands, trademark is actually more important.
Because you don't have to disclose the details or your intellectual property. Is that right?
Correct. And not only that, I can give you an example why trademark is so critical. Beauty is a very competitive space, and any good names are almost all being taken. And when I started my own brand, I have a brand, I couldn't get the social media handle for my brand Fan Love Beauty. So for the longest time, for about a year, I was using official Fan Love Beauty until I have it registered trademarked. So I used the piece of paper to go to Meta and say, hey, I'm the intellectual property holder of this name. Meta actually kicked off the other person who had my handle and let me have it. And this
Oh,
tells you
wow.
the power of trademark.
I never knew that. The funny thing is, I have trademarked the drop in CEO. I mean, that is my brand, and everything is the Drop-In CEO podcast, the collective, etc. And I haven't disclosed. It's just that's mine. That is who I am and the brand. So check the box. I trademark, and anything afterwards, if I choose to, I could copyright, but I've done the right thing. Good to know.
Yeah.
So talk to me about Fan Love Beauty. I have in your bio here, it's a clean vegan beauty brand inspired by your mentor, Damon John of Shark Tank. Talk to me about that relationship and then tell me more about your venture.
Okay, so a lot of people actually want to know if I have ever been on Shark Tank. The thing is, I have never been officially on Shark Tank, but I did audition twice.
Oh, it's
But
so
it's not,
exciting.
yeah, it's not how I know him though. How I know him was actually I was stalking him on social media, and I show up wherever he show up, and then we become friends. And we actually become good friends. So there was one time I was with him and he took out a lip balm and used in front of me. I was like, Damon, if it's something that's so close to you, that's in your pocket on your lips, it has to be mine. So I developed the first vegan lip balm that is free of petrolatum, free of lanolin, free of beeswax. I mean, it's not like to say those are not good ingredients to have, but I'm very particular in what's ingestible. So I want the healthiest ever lip balm for him because he had some cancer issue before he's all clear now. So I want the best possible for him. So it's full of superfoods instead of the typical ingredients that you will find in your lip balm.
I think this is going to be an absolutely fascinating interview because while you and I have had some time just to get briefly acquainted with each other, I want to go deeply into like what you do and why you do it. So you've got patents, you create different things, you have experience in the supply chain, but what's your why, your mission, your vision? What is the purpose for the work that you're trying to do?
The why is to empower people to feel more confident about their appearance, to reach 5 million people within 10 years through the products that I created. And I can track those through all the brand founders that I created products for them. I know the reach.
It's amazing. An amazing vision. And what is unique about your creations? Because I want people, if they don't know Ginger King, if they don't know your brand, et cetera, I want people to understand what makes you different and desirable to be associated with your brand and your products.
Okay, so my full-time job is industry consultant as a cosmetic chemist. The brand is my kind of side hustle because it was out of love. And my full-time job, I am a cosmetic chemist. I help you to create your own beauty brand from concept to launch, including formulations that you can own. So I don't start with the product. I actually start with your brand development because a product is a product, it's a product. A lip balm is a lip balm, it's a lip balm, right? So why do you need another lip balm in the marketplace? So when you come to me, a lot of people say, oh, you're a cosmetic chemist. Can you make me a serum? Can you make me this? Of course. Anyone has a title of cosmetic chemist can make you something. But what makes you different? What makes you unique? You start with the brand development. I will help you with your brand mission, with your vision, you with your proprietary technology that's so uniquely yours. And I help you with your distribution channel, with your PR strategy, and also with your philanthropy. Because in this competitive market, if you can buy a product and have a link with the social cause, you're also doing society good. You are more than just a beauty brand. So it's beauty inside out because of the heart that you have to contribute to the social cause.
I really, really love that. And again, for anybody that's out there in their career, whether they're in their own business or in a company, are you best serving your customers or clients in support of their passion, what they really care about, their love, or are you just presenting a transaction? And to your point, you could just make a lip balm, or you can create an experience that with every purchase of these, it's going towards a cause that you care about.
Yes, for Fanla Beauty, the social cause is actually Suicide Prevention Foundation, because when I created the lip balm, I kind of do it backward for my own brand because I didn't want going in wanting to create a brand of my own. So what happened was, Damon is an entrepreneur. So I want this brand like for entrepreneurs by entrepreneur, like it's FUBU, for us by us. And entrepreneurs can actually be a very lonely journey. And a lot of people can go down the suicide route. So this is the reason why I chose suicide prevention as a social cost for the brand.
And so how do you connect with that? Is it a percent of the proceeds or
A
how?
percent of the proceeds, yes, goes to suicide prevention.
It's interesting. And again, this is just you and me talking. Little by little, when I bring different people onto the show, I am now starting to bring people that are involved in nonprofits and they're supporting certain causes. Like I'm bringing somebody on that supports the Boys and Girls Club of their particular city because there's just some connection with humanity. And I think we run our lives by buying things, doing transactions, paying the bills, and doing things we need to, but we don't stop and think about why are we doing what we're doing? How are we affecting the environment? Who is negatively impacted by what we do? Waste in the products that to produce our products is negatively affecting the environment. Is there cleaner, better ways to produce the things we consume? So I think the closer we get to human causes and what we're doing, I think we're just going to be a happier race because of that.
Yep.
Yeah. So I know when we spoke earlier, yes, you've got a full-time gig and then you've got Fan Love Beauty, but tell me more. I think you really, really care about the entrepreneurs, that a lot of your work is to help launch their dreams. Tell me more about that work and any particular example that you've really made a difference in somebody's life.
Okay, so now I not only do the brand development I mentioned to you, I do the product development. In last September, I am also now a certified 10X business coach. What that means is a lot of people they have a dream, but they do not understand what kind of funding is required to
Yeah.
start a brand. So I start with coaching. If you don't have enough money to do the brand, coach with me. I help you to increase your revenue by 30% in 90 days with a proven system that is Grant Cardone's system. So to boost your revenue first, so you can put aside the fund. Then you do brand development, you do prototyping, you do all the buyout. You can buy out the formula from me. And then because a lot of times people don't know what to do with the product after I deliver the product. So I also coach them on how to take care of their new baby. So I'm like their nanny.
Mhm.
And I can also coach them how to pitch to the investors down the road because if you want to go to retail, you will need investors. So it's like, I'm your surrogate mom, I'm your nanny. I'm also helping you to pitch for your sugar daddy.
Oh my God. Oh my God. But I think we skipped over something along the way. I mean, and remind me again, like, how did you find yourself in the beauty space? Um,
Okay.
yeah.
So when I first came to America, that was when I was 16. That was when I touched makeup. And I was like, wow, I really saw a difference with or without makeup, how it impact my confidence. It was like it was back to like 1983. I walked into a restaurant after school, and no matter how I say hello, hello, nobody seems to notice me. And the very next day, I went in with makeup on. And this time I was treated like a VIP because people actually did not recognize it's the same girl. And that's when I realized, wow, makeup can really turn an ugly duckling into a swan. And I wanted to become a makeup artist then. However, being Asian, it's like you have to go to school. If you don't get a PhD, at least get the master's degree. So when the cosmetology school called, my uncle picked up the phone, said, Ginger, cosmetology school, you got a wrong number. So I was crying for weeks. Then I was like, fine, I'll learn how to make cosmetics. This is why I major in chemistry. So I was being very committed since I was 16 years old, wanting to be in beauty.
So, oh my God. Okay. So I didn't know this about you. So this is a fascinating story. So you still took a path that was very soulful to you. But I got a question because is it putting on a mask or letting our natural beauty shine through? Is there a conflict there? Because I know I love when I have take the time to make myself look good. I do feel more confident. What about natural beauty?
think the, I mean, actually, neuro-cosmetics is going to be very trending, and there are so many studies about neuro-cosmetics. Because when you look good, you feel good, and vice versa. When you feel good, you look good. It's just like, if you dress up, you just have a different, you just feel much better. So even just dressed up, you feel much better. And putting on makeup is to enhance your own beauty. I mean, I don't do dramatic makeup anymore. I used to when I was younger, but
Mhm.
when you start getting more mature, it's like you still need the enhancement. Just a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit
Mm,
the lip balm, lipstick, blush. It just make you feel better.
does. And you said something neuro-cosmetics. Is that a science?
Yes, neurocosmetics, there are studies like when you apply beauty products, your brain signals just saying like, it makes you happy. It's linked. That's why beauty and wellness is linked.
Very interesting. Very interesting. You are such a cool person. I did not know all these things about you. So let's talk about a little bit about you in the media. Tell me about like when you are sought out by a magazine or something, what are the kinds of things that they're asking you to talk about? I'm just curious.
For magazines, it's usually cosmetic ingredients because general public don't really have the touch of what ingredients are used for. But cosmetic chemists, we know ingredients inside out. And I always like to say a lot of times people only know dermatologists, but dermatologists, they know skin, they know the skin structure, they know, the symptoms and how to help the skin. But the dermatologist may not know the ingredients as deep as cosmetic chemists. Also, dermatologists may not know the regulations of cosmetic ingredients like chemist.
And they should. They should know all the things. I mean, women is 50 or 50 plus percent of who they see. They think about, oh, it's the shampoo you're using. Oh, is it the laundry detergent? What about the makeup? They should know all those ingredients if they're going to properly treat somebody.
Well, because they are not the ones making the formulations,
Yeah.
cosmetic chemists are.
Okay. So I'm going to keep jumping all over here because you're such an interesting person. I want to go back to people that you've coached or helped. So you talk about you come up into their life at different points in the journey from funding to how to create something or maybe take a creation of yours and take it on their way. Tell me a story of somebody that you've coached and worked with in this space. Where were they at in the beginning and where did you take them to?
Okay, so I do have this founder. When she came to me, she didn't even start it. And after I developed 8 products for her, she's in Sephora and she got a lot of investment down. So that's one of the success stories. She also have many awards in the product lineup. But I cannot share who she is just
Of
because
course,
of
of
the
course.
NDA. I can also share another example. It's she's not only doing products with me, she's coaching with me. She's not ready to launch yet, but then we did a test market the other day and she did very well because in my coaching, you know how a lot of people try to wait until the last perfect moment. I want to wait until I have my product and I start marketing. But in the 10X coaching, we actually teach people when you have an idea, you should be already start marketing already. It's just like your iPhone have many software updates. They didn't wait until the 16th, the edition before they launch their product. They launch it when it's just started. So being first in the market is actually very important. You rather go out there, get your market information, and then you fail fast, and then you can improve and relaunch.
That brings up a thought. When I first started my business, I had started in the beginning like, oh, what do my business cards look like? What does my PowerPoint look like? And then I said, wait a second, I don't even have any clients. I have customers. I don't need any of this. So I just started talking to people. And then over time, I figured out what were the products and services and what did that business card look like. But you got to get yourself out there, get your ideas and test everything. But I want to shine a light on you. So, again, when I started out the introduction, you're an award winning cosmetic chemist and the founder of Grace Kingdom Beauty as a product development firm. So, for you as a business owner, what has that journey been like? Has it, tell me about any successes that you may have had or things that you've learned and failed fast. I just love to know what that journey is like building your own business.
Being entrepreneur is a roller coaster.
Yes.
And right? Because you if you don't have your pipeline fill up, you don't even know where is your next customer come from. It's very different than the 9 to 5. You pretty much know, this is a company you go to every single day and you just have your steady income. For entrepreneurs, you have to hustle every single day to make sure you have continual flow of customers waiting for you.
So, what was your secret? What did you find for you worked?
In the beginning, it's all referrals.
Yes.
Because I mean, like, that's the easiest way. Referrals, that's your power base, knowing you're starting your own company,
Mhm.
you start your friends and family. I mean, any business, if you want to do something, you always start with your friends and family. And it's also the easiest way to tell who's your real friends,
Oh my God. Yeah.
right?
Right, right, right.
Yeah, that's the easiest way. If you start something, if your friend's not supporting you, I'm not sure if you spend so much time with them in the past. Are they your true friends or not? It's very easy to tell. And then based on your work, it's just referral one by one. I actually have many clients that's a referral from my existing customers because they ask them, who did you work with to get your
Mhm.
products done? even
Okay.
though even though I don't tell people, but
Mhm.
my customer actually refer their friends to me as my clients now.
Okay, well, then what about, though, outreach? I mean, those are referrals and then referrals from referrals, but where do you show up that people see you? And you may
Okay,
Yeah.
so yes, you know how the PR is actually the free advertisement. I actually have not spending advertising dollar on my business until 2 weeks ago. I started to. And so I do a lot of PR work, which is helping magazines, magazine editors out. I get quoted at the height of my heightened part of my quotes are like over 180 times a year. And yeah, that was like a few years ago. And
That's amazing.
then I also go on TVs. And the reason why I go on TV is every time, well, I have time, I have fun, inspire, educate, and entertain people, but I also get followers and I also get clients. I also get products sold that way. So it's a win-win in all angles.
Well, tell me about so you're an award-winning, chemist and cosmetic chemist, but what's one product or brand or line are you most proud of that we could say, "Oh, Ginger helped with that."
I can tell you my claim to fame. My claim to fame is actually Joico Ice Spiker. I developed that in 1999. And that product, it was patent pending. We didn't go through the whole patent just because I left the company. But then, so there were actually 9 companies copying that formula, including L'Oreal, the big ones.
And what was it
And
called again? What was it called again?
Ice Spiker.
Okay.
It's for Joico. It's a salon hair care. And I have
Okay.
there were like 9 products copying that formula. They don't even know why I use certain ingredients. And you see that copy, they show up in their ingredient list. And the company that copied the best is actually Got to Be. Got to Be is like in the yellow tube in the supermarket. And the funny thing is, Got to Be actually bought Joico later on, and
Mhm.
it's a full circle. So they actually own that formula now.
That's funny, but the fact that you were copyable is a
Mm-hmm.
testament to the quality and the experience that you provide.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting. Now, I want to go back to something that you said very much in the beginning, because I think this is relevant to anybody that's listening. You said something like back when you were on account, working the counters, that you created this customer relevant experience. Can you just tell me again what that system or methodology was, and so that others can learn?
So I was selling beauty products at the counter.
Yeah.
So I can kind of understand what people want. For example, if a customer comes to me, if they tell me a specific they want for dark circle for an eye cream,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so I will recommend a product. But then they sometimes they will ask for two different creams just because the company will advertise, you should use this, you should use that. But then I will use my very authentic self, telling them, no, this is the only product that you need. Sometimes you actually get more trust that way, just because I'm not selling for the sake of selling. I'm really helping the customer to get what they need. Because in retail, there is this, you're supposed to be selling three products in every transaction, because if a customer come for a lipstick, you don't sell a lip liner, or you don't sell a matching blush to go with it, you are not a good salesperson, because the advertisement of the brand brought in the customer. So if you are just doing a sales clerk, people coming for a lipstick, you sell a lipstick, you are not recommending other products, you are not good in sales. So that's the mantra, but which I actually did well, because if it makes sense to me to help the customer to complete the look, of course, absolutely. But if the customer comes, just blindly saying, I need two different eye creams, and I would just say, no, you don't. So it's really real understanding the needs. And I even have like older lady tell me, you are like 18 years old. What do you know about wrinkles? So I was part-time at the department store. I'll whip out my regular business card, which says a cosmetic chemist, saying, well, you tell me, do I know about wrinkles or not?
So that's amazing. Again, selling a customer what they need versus understanding how you can help them, and then the transaction. I do feel like when I have gone in and bought cosmetics for myself, I go in thinking I only need a couple three things, and I leave with like seven or eight. And I feel like on one hand I've been had, like, oh god, I can't believe I spent that much. On the other hand, like, okay, I've got a complete look. But then over time, maybe I only stick with two or three of the items because I really didn't need the other one. So I really appreciate you being very customer focused. Help them with what they need and maybe a little bit more, because there's a greater impact. How you make them feel, building up their confidence. It's less about the transaction and how many sales can you get out of that. So I really appreciate that about you.
But I really love doing sales though, the retail sales, because
Mhm.
retail sales, you get the instant feedback. And I will always talk about this when I was doing the retail sales. I was doing a makeover on the twin sisters. And one of the twin sisters, she just loved it so much. The other twin sister said, give me whatever you give to my sister. So that was double the sales. That was a $600 transaction. Back in the day, was a lot of money. I calculated the other day would probably be like a $2,500 today.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. So when we think about people listening, again, your story is amazing, and it's been a delight talking to you. But when we think about anybody who's in your audience, in this audience, what are the types of people that you would like to connect with? Where are they at, or what kind of partners are you looking for? Because if you're out there, I would love for you to connect with Ginger.
So for my client, basically people want to build their own beauty brand. However, it would be much better if you already come with a little bit of funding. Like, you like the best clients are dermatologists or beauty influencers or people who come with the investors already. And I would say to start, like very minimally, you want $50,000 in your bank. I'm not saying you're gonna be spending all $50,000 in the first shot, but it's a safety cushion. And if you don't even have $50,000, you need to start coaching with me
Oh,
before. That's a prerequisite before you start doing the brand.
but this is anybody that's just got a great idea, or maybe they have a great formulation, but they just don't know the steps to be able to bring it to fruition. That's somebody that you'd like to know.
Yes. And I offer coaching calls for like a strategy calls, clarity calls, because a lot of people have no idea. I mean, they think their DIY at home is good enough to bring to the market. I mean, I get, those kind of calls all the time. Like, I formulated this myself. I want
Mhm.
to put this to the market.
So you do offer just some immediate consultation, but
Yes.
really you share that you need to understand the whole business from beginning to end and all the things that you need in order to achieve success.
Yes. And actually, one of the questions I always ask people also is, how do you plan to exit? Because everybody dies. Are you gonna pass down your company? Are you intended to sell to, a venture capitalist? What's your plan? And
Yeah.
people always like, I'm not even starting yet. I say, yeah, but you need to begin with an end in mind. Where are you taking your company to?
Yeah, it's about your legacy because again, you could pass it off to people in the family, pass it off to the employees, because you're here today serving clients or customers, but you really are here as an entrepreneur for a greater purpose. How do you know that when you're no longer there, that it perpetuates and continues to serve? So great advice. And I love this conversation, but we do have to bring it to a close. But I want people to connect with you, Ginger. So any last thoughts that you'd like to share with the audience? Or ways people can connect with you?
Uh, to connect with me, the best one is actually my Instagram, the Beauty Shark Ginger. I am on all social channel. However, you see the more multifaceted me on my Instagram because LinkedIn can be like very, very professional looking. So I don't really post there every day, but I post on my Instagram every day.
And where did you get the handle Beauty Shark
The
Ginger?
Beauty Shark Ginger
Yeah.
because I mean I was like in love with like the shark demon, the people shark. So
Hmm.
I want to be a shark too. And to me, shark is entrepreneurship. The beauty shark is beauty and entrepreneurship. So I'm the Beauty Shark Ginger.
Oh, I love it. So, for my listeners out there, please, please look up Ginger King, who is the founder of Grace Kingdom Beauty. Her handle is Beauty Shark Ginger. I love all of this stuff. Very, very creative. I just want to say thank you so much for dropping in and being an amazing guest. And I wish you continue success.
Thank you, Deb.